bike that we picked up. I don't know what our budget goals are, but right now the BMX bike was 45 bucks. This was $6.09. That was $6.09, and then we spent $9.18 on hardware from Home Depot.
We're like over $100 deep right now.
What else?
So it's about $100 drift trike.
Yeah. And then of course having a welder and just spare tubing from like a roll cage. But other than that, let's get started and see what happens.
We're trying to build this thing in under, what should we say, under 4 hours?
Yeah.
It's 1 o'clock right now.
Okay. Let's see what happens. So what I'm thinking is that we're just going to cut this top tube off, keep this bottom tube, keep the head tube, and then keep the fork and like, you know, all this, and then just basically chop the rear end off.
Yep. And it's nice because this thing's like a BMX bike, so it's got the internally routed front brake. And on drift trikes, a lot of times you'll do like a 360. So that way the line won't get caught up when you spin the wheel.
We're going to be shredding so much in R that we're just going to like 360 the handlebars.
Yep.
Okay. What we'll do right now is just start stripping the frame down of everything we don't need so we can make it easier when doing our cuts. Dude. Okay, it's pretty much stripped, so I'm just going to cut it now.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Like that?
Bars are wide.
We figured out that the height of the frame needed to be right around here, so I have my notch template, and I'm just going to cut this out with the angle grinder and then fit this up, and then it should be pretty solid as far as the height and everything should go. So this right here is the level that we need to have the tube attached to, so I've done an offset notch to make sure it sits all the way at the bottom. And so what I'll do right now is just mark where the top should be. That way we have like a reference and we're actually putting it.
Shit through this thing.
Oh, really?
See a little bit more, but not enough.
Okay.
You were blocking it the whole time.
Oh, really? Okay. So it's all welded now, and we can start mocking up the rear end. Okay, so we have the frame over here, and I have the template for a 90-degree notch on the back, so we can put our axle back there, so I'm just going to notch that. We're going to be cutting it at 28 inches. So we're going to cut a 2-inch by 2-inch square out of 12 gauge to cap off the end of the axle. Then I just like weld around it. Mm-hmm. Then after that I'll trim it, and then I'll lay like another bead.
Yeah.
Now I have this ground down and this is flat, so we can weld our bolt here that we're going to be using for an axle. This is like super solid. At first I was a little bit sketchy, the fact that we're welding a bolt onto there, but then after I welded it, yeah, I got like no doubts in my mind this thing is going to be stout. What?
This thing is
Flat?
perfect.
That's sick. You did a good job. Dude, it has sick ground clearance too.
Yeah, it's not even that high.
Is it flexing at all? No, it's not.
Tires are just flexing.
Tires are flexing. As you can see on the front end here, we want to have pegs up front so we can put our feet up on. So these are the nuts that hold the wheel into the fork. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the old frame and we're just going to cut a piece off over here. And this metal is like the perfect size to fit over the nut that actually goes onto the fork. So we'll just take this, we'll chop a piece off, then we'll weld it around the nut. And then, yeah, then we'll just instantly have pegs off of something that we already have. Now let's weld them onto them nuts.
It's gonna just like all match too, because it's all part of the same button.
Yeah. We got pegs. Sick. Oh, perfect. Okay.
I think it's too big.
So let's just drill holes in it and zip tie.
I know.
So now we trim the bolt down so we have a few threads extra, but it's not like a super long piece like that. And next we'll just put our PVC tires on. All right, we got this 10-foot, right, piece of PVC pipe, and it is 10 inches in diameter, the inside diameter. So now we're going to try and cut that up, and that's what we're going to sleeve on top of the wheels that we have. The drift tires on here. Now I can take my piece of paper that I've wrapped all the way around there and I know it's straight, and then create a straight line. Now here's our drift tire that we're going to clean up and then put on the wheel. So we've done a little test run of the drift trike, and the only problem we're noticing with these 10-inch PVC on the 10-inch wheel is that the PVC, like after every single run we did, it would basically slide off and become uneven, kind of like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some spray adhesive as well as sandpaper. So we're going to scuff up the inside of this wheel so it's not as smooth. And then we're going to get the spray adhesive, and then we'll spray adhesive the inside, and then after that we'll set the tire in there and inflate it. And then hopefully it'll just stay like that. So we got the wheels off. I'm going to do that mod over here and scuff it up and spray it and set these tires in. And at the same time, my cousin over here, he's going to go and install these brakes. So I bought Odyssey 1999 BMX brakes for the front because the view of this bad boy. We got our nice wooden seat over there. It is zip tied in place. And then we have our 2x4s right there. We have a small gap in the bottom to allow for our zip ties to still be accessed and clamp the bottom down. We got our wheels over here. These are the gold 10-inch ones from Harbor Freight. And then we have our 10-inch PVC on top of that. 80 grit sandpaper in the center. 3M spray adhesive to keep everything in place. 50 PSI in the rear tires to expand it and keep it there. We got a 5/8 inch bolt running through. So, you happy?
Hell yeah. Let's go shred.